Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to SnB's F1 series here for round 2 at the Australian Grand Prix. This 3.29 mile track in Melbourne, Australia includes 16 turns, and with a full field, treacherous turns throughout, including 11 and 12. And take a look, guys, we're here with rain for qualifying, so it's going to be a wild ride tonight. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Zim, thank you for the follow. I really appreciate it. We have our first drivers out on track here. Rangers is going to take to the track here, along with a couple others, so they're going to be on their outlap. A lot of quick times during practice here tonight. Rangers with the fastest time. We had Bloomy out towards the front, leave Justin out towards the front also, so it's going to be very interesting to see which driver can make it out here in the rain. There was no rain in practice, so this is very different situation than what we experienced even 5 minutes ago. Zim, hope you're doing well tonight. You can see these guys trying to get those tires warmed up, get the grip going. Man, it's going to be very interesting out here as these guys are just making their way out on track. I kind of want to take a look at what tires these guys have, but 16 minutes for qualifying. They have a while to get the lap down. What's going to be most important here tonight is consistency. There's a lot of treacherous turns here, but on the first lap that we see tonight is going to be really difficult to get all of these cars through lap 1 with no damage as you guys are trying to pile into the first turn. That's always going to be the most treacherous turn in any race, really, especially when the turns are very narrow here, and how difficult the turn is itself is going to be a wild one. Zim, I'm doing good. Ready for a wild night tonight. I don't think these drivers were expecting rain, so it's going to be very interesting to see how they handle that. We already had one driver retire from the session. That was Gary from Canada. I know he was struggling a little bit in practice. Hopefully we'll see him back out on track, but right now it's not looking to be the case. 29 laps on the entry for tonight here at the Australian Grand Prix. It's going to be a long night. These guys are doing around a minute 22, a minute 21. So very, very fast times out here we're going to see. Bloomy, we're on board with. He is one of the faster ones out here. Great to see him racing. He is with AlphaTauri teammate JC. So we'll see how these teammates do here tonight. Guys in chat, let me know. I want to hear your experience with F1. Rangers won last week's race, and I gotta bring up the point standings here. Driver standings, Rangers, he's got 26 points. Mayer, he's in second with 18 points. Had an extremely amazing battle out there with Rangers. Just both of them messed up at different parts of the race, and it kind of evened out. Rangers brought home the win. Mayer in second. Skyland brought home a top 3 finish. He's 15 in points. Leaf Justin, he is going to be 4th in points with 12. We have JDM Hawk with 10 points, sitting P5. Bloomy, who we just spoke about, he is P6 in points with 8. Hokey Fan in 6 with 6 points in 7th. Jacob in 8th with 4 points. And David in P9 with 2 points. JC in 10th with 1 point. And the way the points work out, 11 through 16, they have 0 points tied. That would be the J-Mac Attack, Dion 4 Dub, Gary from Canada, Libert, Fluffy, and Tom Tom. Both Fluffy and Tom Tom were out of the race early last week. So I don't see either of them out here this week. I do believe they have one more race and another league to finish out. And hopefully we'll see them next week. That is the point standings, though, as we see it going into the race tonight for round 2. I think the strategy might get changed a little bit. Softs were going to be the strategy here to start off with. with switching to hards, as these guys do have to use 2 different tire compounds. We're going to see if that's the case as we get through qualifying into the race. The top 10 guys will have to use that same tire compound that they qualify in. Rangers on the top here with a 1:33.4. That will speed up a little bit as the laps move on. Mayer is going to be in second with a 1:34.0. Jacob not too far behind with a 1:34.7. Skyland in fourth with a 1:35, along with Bloomy in the top 5 with a 1:35.3. So some very close times, and last week, if you guys were here for the race, you saw how close it was, and we do have a spin. Rangers with our fastest lap. He has spun out in sector 3 as he is coming around to the start-finish line. Let's take a look on board with Mayer out there with a 1:34.0, about 0.6 off of our leader Rangers. You can see him gingerly trying to take these turns. I mean, absolutely low grip out here with this rain. We'll see if it dries up for the race, but right now, that track seems pretty slick. You can see Jacob in third right now with a 1:34.7. So these guys a little spread out, but Mayer gets out there with a 1:33.5, so extremely close to Rangers' time. We'll see if he can knock him off pole, but right now Rangers is still out there on top. Skyland coming on to pit road for Alpine team. Man, 1:35.2. We have 3 guys in the 1:35s. Bloomy is going to be the next in line with a 1:35.3, sitting P5. JC is on the same team as Bloomy, a 1:35.9. So these two very close in time, and that's going to be for AlphaTauri. Liebert makes it on board with a 1:38.4 for his first time out here. We'll see what he can get later on in the run, as these guys still have 10 minutes left. So quite a bit of time left, but man, you can see Liebert kind of catching that grass out there, and that's going to make him spin those tires. Keeping it straight though, he's going to head to pit road. A lot of these guys on to pit road. Dion out on track. Not sure what happened to Justin out here, but does not say he is out on track or in the game at the moment. So we'll see if he can make his way back. Rangers still leading with a 1:33.4. Just under 10 minutes left. We'll see what he can do though. I am curious, you guys, about the tires. Will they start off with softs? Let's take a look, see what they're on right now. Rain tires. I'm gonna assume all these are rain tires. Totally different than what I'm used to. I am new to F1, so I'm learning as I go, but I'm gonna say that these are definitely rain tires out here. I want to see if there's going to be any challenge to Rangers. He is super fast in F1. This guy definitely knows what he's doing, which is funny because out here in practice, he was saying, I'm not very good. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do in this race. So right now, he looks like he's doing pretty darn good, especially with this rain, but the times are definitely a lot slower than what we saw in practice, as it was sunny out and they did not have to compete with this rain that was on the ground. We'll see. We have a couple of drivers out in Sector 1 that are having some issues. Liebert is out there with a 1:38. We saw, it looks like Jacob right there with him. He's got a 1:34.7 right now, sitting P4. We'll see if that is going to stick. A couple of more guys out on the board. We have Dion on the board, sitting P9 with a 1:39.9. Some of these guys only have had a couple of laps on those tires, so I'm expecting to see those lap times come down. Bloomy and JC still hanging out together in the time section. Teammates out here, 135.3 and a 135.9. And the funny thing I found out here today is that JC and Jacob, who is sitting P7 and P4, these two are brothers, and they had an insane battle last week. So I kind of want to see what happens tonight. Will they have another battle out here? Will they be around each other? I want to see how it goes. Rangers improves his time to a 132.9. Just when you think he can't get any faster, he does it. Mayor still sitting second with a 133.5. Hokie Fan, he's going to be up there with a 134.650. And Jacob just underneath him with a 134.7. So I have a feeling, just like we saw last week, I'll say it again, we're going to have a couple of different packs of racing out here where there's good battles all throughout the field. You can see it in the times, even throughout this rain. Skyland with a 135.2, Bloomy with a 135.3, and JC just a little further out with a 135.9. I'm expecting Libert and Dion to improve those times if possible, with just under 6 minutes to go. Yensa, how are you? Hope you're doing well out there. We're doing F1 tonight. Still learning. Really fun out here. First rain race so far. We're only on round 2, but yeah, rain is definitely in the mix. And I know throughout a couple of these seasons for these guys in F1, a lot of these races were rain races. And as we head into the race, especially I talked about it when you're heading into turn 1 with all of these cars, you add rain into the mix, some of these guys are going to be sliding into one another. So they're definitely going to have to be a little more cautious as we head into the race. Hopefully the track conditions dry out, but man, the gray skies are not looking too promising. Thrills, what's up? We're missing you out on track. You're supposed to be out here. Absolutely. I don't know what you're up to, but yeah. Hopefully we'll see you next week. I'm trying to see if Libert and Dion, I want to take a look. Dion is still on pit road. Libert is still on pit road, so those guys are not making another run at the moment. We have Bloomy on pit road. Skyland is still making a run out here. You can see him as he is in Sector 3 coming to the finish line. Oh, well, now he's coming on pit road. Jacob with a 134.7. Just incredible how close these times are here tonight. With qualifying winding down, I'm not sure if anyone can take Rangers off a pole, but if anyone can do it, I know that Mayor super fast. Those two had a battle last week. He would be one to be able to do that. JDM Hawk with a 134.2. Not too far off. I mean, take a look at Jacob with a 134.220. So extremely close out there, sitting P4. So quite the battle between JDM and Jacob. These turns, you have to be ever concise with how you take these. Just going off track limits can be extremely easy to do. And like I said, now that rain is in the mix, although it does look like it's trying to dry out a little bit, which is great for them news-wise as far as grip goes. So hopefully it will continue to dry up and these guys can get a little faster times, get some more grip. And we have Hokie Fan who is coming out onto pit road. Just under 3 minutes left, and we have Mayer out here for his outlap. We have Bloomy coming out once again, and Dion, who we spoke about earlier, with a 1:39.9. He is on his outlap. David has made his way to the track also on an outlap. We'll see if they can improve their times, and David needs a time, so we'll see where he lands on the board. A couple of cars out in Sector 1, and it looks like we have a bit of an issue with these guys. Very, very close racing. We'll see if we can find out what's going on here. Dion getting super slippery out there. A lot of oversteer with how these cars are running in the rain. Caught a bit of curb. Manages to hold it out, though. Letting Rangers go by. Now Dion is on the move once again. I'll tell you what, even in a perfect condition, I made a couple of laps here tonight, and I was sitting at like a 1:34 or so. So they're doing this in the rain and already still better than me. So it just shows you how good these guys are. Granted, I am brand new to this game. I've made just a couple of lap runs here and there, but yeah, I'm impressed with how these guys can do it and how precise they are. What blew me? Just blew the doors off of Rangers and the rest of the crew out here with a 1:27.6. That is absolutely incredible. Man, oh man. Wow, I'm very impressed with that. Ranger's going to be in second with a 1:32.9. Will he answer that back? And Bloomy in the AlphaTauri is extremely fast out there. He's got to be very pleased with that time. Winding down his run. We only have 20 seconds left in this session. We will do the pace lap as these guys get ready. And as I say that, Jordan McGraw comes in the final 10 seconds with a flying 1:26.4. So really incredible job to these guys out here. A 1:26.4 looks like for pole. Bloomy with a 1:27.4. Oh, Mayor of Bag City, what is happening right now? Answers back with a 1:25.9. J-Mac in second with a 1:26.4. And Bloomy out here with a 1:27.6. Rangers now moves down to P4 with a 1:32.9. That's insane. Final 10 seconds. We had 3 different movers for pole here. They will get chance to finish their laps for these guys that are still out on track, so we'll see if that changes. But man, oh man, Mayor of Bag City just absolutely moving in that car. Yeah, Jens, I'm gonna say the track is definitely drying up. I don't see any rain coming down at this point, which is great news for these guys. You can definitely tell the speeds are increasing here. Great to see. I know it's already a difficult track. A lot of challenges, turns 11 and 12 through that tricky turn there. It's going to be interesting. So to have the rain move out, I'm sure these guys are very relieved to see that. A minute 30 left on the clock. Mayor is still holding it out. These guys are allowing to be finished. J-Mac Attack still out. He's going to be on pit road. I don't see any different movement going on here, so I think he should be pretty well safe with that time of 1:25.9. Very impressive. A little bit slower than what we saw in practice, but again, wet conditions out here will change that significantly. We do have these guys. Looks like Mayor was on softs. Rangers on medium for that. So definite strategy coming into play here as these guys can do a one stop tonight. We'll see what strategy and how it plays out. thrills. Yes, a lot of guys are definitely a little worried about turn 1, lap 1. If they can get past that, I think we will be good to go. Mayor of Bag City has the fastest lap at 1:25.9. Rangers comes in last second with 1:26.0. Jay McAttack with 1:26.4. And Bloomy in P4 with 1:27.6. Dion in 5th with 1:28.9. Great comeback for him after staying out for a little bit there. Skyline in P6 with 1:32.3. JDM Hawk with 1:34. Jacob with 1:34.2. PokeFan right behind him. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I know these drivers appreciate it, and I know that I definitely do also. So thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know what you think about the race and these guys. Looks like the sun is out, a little cloudy still, but a lot better than it was. So hopefully we have a lot of grip out there and we'll see some wild racing. I think, knock on wood, I think we'll be good if we can get past turn 1 on lap 1. That is always the hardest, trickiest part. So we'll see if these guys can get it done. Gonna have to play it a little more cautiously than normal. But if they can do that, I think they'll be good to go. Predicted pit stop strategy, lap 9 to 11. We'll see what they do here. These guys are going to make their way around in order to line up on the grid. $29 laps tonight. Definitely dried out, which is great news for these guys. Thrill says, if it's a rain race, I'm glad I missed it because I'd crash out instantly. I'll tell you what, the first 2 times I tried it instantly in turn 1, completely died. Absolutely. After that, on the 3rd try, it was perfectly fine. That was my 3rd time out on track, and it was okay. It was good. 2-stop is better than 1-stop strategy any day of the week here. You know what? I think if they're going to go 1-stop, from what I'm talking about with the drivers, they're going to start on medium tires if they're going to do that. So we'll see what some of these guys choose to do. It'll definitely be interesting. These guys are coming around the final turns in order to line up on the grid here. Some of these guys were saying that they are going to start off on the softs to make it to a 1 pit stop here. So start off on softs, end up on the hards. Some say possibly mediums. So I don't think they're going to just share that secret with each other, but we'll see how it goes as we head into the run. These guys are lining up and we're getting ready to get this race moving for the Australian Grand Prix. 29 laps. Let's make it past the first corner here. The lights are out at the Australian Grand Prix. Let's get this thing moving. Everyone 2, 3 wide heading into the first corner. We have Mayor of Bag City who is in the lead currently. Rangers in second. Dion moving up to third. Fantastic job out here. We do have a little bit of an issue in Sector 1, but everyone steams to continue to move here. Mayor in first, Rangers in second, Dion in third, Hawk is going to be in fourth, Bloomy going to settle in fifth, Skyline in sixth. I want to take a look at these guys as we move through the field, lining up single file so far. We do have a little bit of an issue back through the field. I want to see if we can catch that. They are still moving. David might have an issue out here as he is falling back. We'll see what he does here. Lap 11 to 13 is going to be the strategy predicted here tonight. Mayor of Bag City, just under a second lead. Rangers trying to close that gap as they head into the corner. These guys are all ready to getting ready to try to battle it out here for the lead, which we saw a ton of last week. Incredible racing. JDM Hawk is just under 2 seconds behind our leader. Let's take a look. I want to go on board with Rangers. Mayor of Bag City with the fastest lap so far with a minute 31.0. Rangers going to have to keep it consistent here. We do have a virtual safety car, so these guys will have to kind of sell it out and let whatever's happening on track get resolved as these guys are making their way around on track. And from what I've heard, it is actually kind of difficult as you have to time it through the corners here. And if you are not where you should be, once it goes back to green, you will get a penalty for that. I want to see where the issue is, and it looked like it might be with David as he was on pit road. I don't know if he had some issues out there. We also have Gary from Canada trying to catch up with the field, so he could be involved in that. Leibert's going to be an 11th, leave Justin in 10th. J-Mac Attack in 9th, who had an incredible run out there as we still are under a VSC. Jacob in 8th, Hokey Fan in 7th, JC in 6th, Dion in 5th, Skylin in 4th, JDM Hawk is going to round out the podium with Rangers in 2nd, and Mayor, who is our current leader. Back to green once again. Race control drive-through penalty for Skylin for speeding in the pits there, so really unfortunate for him. We saw that a couple of times last week as DRS is now enabled. Mayor of Bag City definitely looking super promising out here. Jacob with a 3-second time penalty. He's had several warnings out there, so that is definitely going to hurt him as he is running out here. First penalty of the night out on track, and then Skylin with a pit penalty for speeding. Rangers right behind, just under a second. You can see him really sending it into these corners, testing those curbs, getting right next to the wall, trying to get every ounce of the track that he can to make up some time. But man, oh man, Mayor is just looking super strong tonight. Oh, huge spin for Rangers in Sector 3, lap 3 of 29. So unfortunate to see. That's going to be a lot of damage out there. We're going to see if he can make it up, but man, oh man, Hawk moves up to 2nd, Dion into 3rd, Jacob falling down to 4th. What a battle out here as Rangers falling down to 8th, trying to make his way back out on track and regain composure. Mayor of Bag City just lining up the fastest laps out here with a 1:26. Super incredible. This guy, this track really suits him out here. He's got a 3-second lead over JDM Hawk, who is in 2nd place. Outer Poem, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Creamy, thank you so... Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for the follow. That's quite the name out there. Hope you guys are enjoying the race. It is a wild one. We had rain for qualifying. Sun came out for the race here, so a lot more grip than what they had before. Rangers, unfortunately, really pushing the envelope there, so spun out as he was trying to catch up to Mayor. Jacob, 7 seconds behind our leader. I want to take a look. Let's get this in front of the leader so we can see what they are behind them. Hawk is going to be the closest to our leader with just under 2.5 seconds. Jacob with 10 seconds behind our leader. Hokie Fan just behind Jacob. You can see a couple of groups out here. He's got the J Mac attack, kind of putting the pressure on him, seeing what he can do, trying to close that gap on P4. He really wants that, but Jacob, man, he's got a couple of guys behind him. He's gonna have to keep that consistency, possibly use that DRS if he can to try to defend his position out there. A very, very close battle, and this is for P3. Hokie Fan just on his heels with J Mac attack out there. Justin, you can see him just in sight of these guys, getting ready to try to make that battle with them. Sick Parrot, thank you for the sub. 16 months. That is incredible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you're doing well out there. Let's take a look at the position changes here. Hawk, he has gained 5 positions along with Jacob. Hokie Fan, all 3 of these guys gained 3 positions. Leaf Justin gaining 7. And Gary from Canada gaining 5 with Dion losing 6 and Rangers losing 11. Bloomy already out of the race with the DNF. So unfortunate to see here. Jacob with a 3-second penalty. I do believe that's his second one of the night. Track limits here are going to be an issue. It's really easy to go over that. So that's something that these guys are really going to have to keep track of and try to stay on course. Any penalty you get is going to hurt in the long run, especially with the end of the race. You could lose your position. So they will have to watch what they do. JDM and Mayor are going to be the closest. Looks like one of the closest battles out here. Jacob in 3rd and Hokie Fan in 4th. Pretty close out here, but you can see on the map, these guys are really well spread out. You have Skylin in 7th. And it looks like J Mac attack directly in front of him. These guys are about 27 seconds behind our leader, so quite the gap for these guys. Jazz, what's up? I hope you're doing well tonight. Let me know what you guys think of the race. If you're rooting for a driver, I gotta know who it is. Let me know who you got. These guys are doing an incredible job out here, but Mayor, I want to go take a look at him. He is increasing that gap, just looking so consistent out there and kind of making this look very, very easy. We'll see if JDM Hawk can close that gap, but that for every lap that I see, it's almost up to 3.5 seconds, when just a few laps ago, it was around 2 seconds. So lap 7 of 29, if he can keep it consistent, it's going to be extremely hard to make any time up on Mayor here. If you are wanting to be part of the F1 series, let me know. Jazz, I know you said that you would like to be. Send me a message and I'll see what we can do. Hokie Fan P3 about 12 seconds from our leader. Kind of on his own little island here. We have some issues. Libert with a DNF. Really unfortunate to see. So that is going to move him off the track here. I do believe that is a Sector 3 issue that's happening. Yeah. So he's got a DNF at the moment. Rangers, man, sitting last at the moment in P12 after an incident earlier on. A self-spin. Really unfortunate to see, as he was sitting P2 at the moment. Dion 11th. Position change. He has moved down 6 spots. He had a very strong run early on. Not quite sure what happened, if it was a curb issue getting loose. I'm not quite sure, but he has moved down several spots. Meanwhile, let's take a look at David, sitting right where he started, P10, having a solid run out there. Gary from Canada, huge mover on this race, one of the third top ones for this, moving up 5 positions. Dion 4 Dub gets a 3-second time penalty. JC and P8, he is going to be sitting 3 positions above where he started. Justin gonna be the biggest mover so far in this race, moving up to P3. Up 10 positions from where he started. So great job on him so far. Lap 8 of 29. Still a ton of racing left. And I want to go ahead and take a look. Let's see if we can get those tires. Yeah, we have quite a few guys on softs out here, which is going to be one of the strategies we talked about earlier on. For some of the guys that want to do a one-stop strategy, they are going to want to start on soft tires and head over to the hard tires. We have some of these guys on mediums. We'll see if they're going to make that a one-stop or a two-stop. We do have another VSC, so that's going to be a virtual safety car out here. Trying to find where that might have happened at. As you can hear, race control helping me out because my first ever F1 race. In the first race, I had no clue there was a virtual safety car. So they're like, I'm going to hang out and chat in Discord and let you know when that's going to be the case. Luckily, I know what to look for now. Apparently, I did not know last week. JDM Hawk. Out here in first, we have 3 guys on pit lane. Skyland, Gary from Canada. Let's take a look. Jacob, JC, Mayor. I don't know what happened to him, you guys. Could the safety car be from Mayor, who was in the lead, now down to 4th? JDM Hawk in first. Man, this is the time where I really wish, there was a replay on that. Glad to see you in Discord. Great to have you. We are back to racing once again. JDM Hawk is going to be out in the lead, and man, oh man, I really wish that I could see what happened. Rangers already with 2 stops for the night, along with Dion. We have 4 drivers who have not made a stop tonight. That's going to be JDM Hawk, Hokie Fan, Leaf Justin, J Mac, and Gary from Canada, who's having a very solid night. So good to see that from him. JDM Hawk with a 10.5 second lead from our second place of Hokie Fan. An 8-second gap between Justin and our leader, but take a look at this battle for P3. Mayor of Bag City quickly moving his way through the field, sitting directly behind Justin. Waiting for something to happen, waiting for Justin to make a mistake. So far, Justin is not making one. He's going to go ahead and try to do an overtake going into the corner. Justin hits the grass a little bit, takes it in too far. Mayor is going to take over P3. Justin going to fall back P4. Great move by Mayor. Unfortunate circumstance for Justin. Rangers with a fastest lap of 1:26. Justin gets a penalty from the course cutting there. We'll see if Justin can't make up that time and make his way back to Mayor. But you guys, Mayor was in the lead earlier, lost the lead, and he's trying to make up that time. He's got 18.5 seconds to make up, and that is quite a bit of time as we are on lap 11 of 29. We'll see if he can do it, but JDM Hawk, we got to show him some love out here in the lead, increasing that gap over second place of Hokie Fan. Doing an incredible job out here. We'll see if he can't bring home the win tonight. Still super early to be talking about that, but I love it when new drivers can bring home a win. So early on still, let's knock on some wood. We'll see how it plays out. Pokey fan sitting in second. He is from Virginia. He works for the Virginia Tech Sports Program, a longtime racer. Enjoys poking fun out of a lot of people, so fun to be around. You can see him always having fun in our F1 chat. So great to have him here. He is one of the experts for the F1 group that works with Skyland. So these guys have a lot of talent, a lot of experience out there. Great to have him out here sitting P2 at the moment, about 10.5 back from our leader. Mayor of Bag City, fastest lap once again with a 125.9. This guy is going to be extremely tough to beat here with the time. He is doing just an amazing job out here. We do have an issue, it looks like, possibly with Gary from Canada trying to get his car the right way around into the wall. Gonna hurt him a little bit. We'll see him as he is trying to let everyone go by. Having a great run so far tonight. You hate to see it, but he moves down to P11. You can tell he has lost his wing. Really hard to steer this. That is going to bring out a Sector 3 caution there. Dion down one lap. 4 guys with penalties out here. He's currently in Sector 3, coming around a couple of corners before he hits the start-finish line. Lap 12 of 29. Mayor, I mean, it is possible. Let's take a look at the stops here. He did have one stop. Our top 2 guys have not pit. I say that, and they are on pit lane right now. So there you have it. Mayor is going to move up. So yeah, it could have just been an early pit stop for him. Pretty early here. So I'm kind of curious. Will he make it a 2-stop strategy tonight? Very curious to see. A lot of these guys have just one stop under their belt. Rangers and Dion both have 2 stops. I do believe 4 damage to repair that. Berkey, hope you're doing well out there. You can tell I'm a little new to F1, but I'm learning each time. Round 2 here tonight at the Australian Grand Prix. The skies have cleared up. The sun is out from the qualifying rain that we saw before, and Mayer back to the lead here, just having an incredible run. I was kind of curious though, because yeah, he just fell back super fast, and I apparently missed that he went on to pit road. Leaf Justin gonna be in second, just under 7 seconds behind, but take a look at JDM Hawk. These guys just having another incredible battle. We saw it out here earlier. Hawk was able to make his way by as Justin hit the curb, went into the grass, and he was able to overtake. We'll see if he can't do it again. But we have 2 issues out here, Sector 1 and Sector 2. Looks like that might be Rangers again. Yeah, headed through the grass, man. Really rough out here. He was in P2 start of the race. You can tell his car is just not handling the way he needs it to. A lot of damage on that front end. Super hard to steer, and he's got a long way around before he can come onto pit road to get that fixed up. Rangers was the winner last week in the points lead. Not going to be the case tonight. I do believe if he continues to struggle here, that will take him out of the points lead. Mayer finished second last week, currently just dominating this race out here. Gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings on exceeding track limits as he goes by Dion, who is a lap down out here. Tires, most of these guys on hards or mediums. We do have Skyland, who is out here on softs right now. Interesting to see the different strategies. Some of these guys have no choice but to go in a second time. J-Mac attack, a 3-second penalty that's going to add to the list of drivers that are holding a penalty at the moment. If I remember correctly, last week we only saw 1 to 2 drivers without a penalty. Berkey, I appreciate you have my back. I have so many notes here. It's just it's wild. Really fun. The racing is just absolutely phenomenal. Another penalty for these guys. Only 5 drivers out here without a penalty. The race is still young. Lap 15 of 29. Let's go down through the field and try to find a battle. Looks like Skyland is going to be the next battle up here between Hawk and Justin, and then Skyland and Hokie Fan. Still quite a few seconds apart here, but man, a lot of room to make a mistake and pass up here. Justin goes back to P3. You can see he's got his eyes set, just chasing the rabbit of JDM Hawk. These guys have been leapfrogging one another throughout this race. And this is going to be for P2. Just using every bit of track. 11 and 12, the corners here just really treacherous as they try to make their way around. Right now, we are headed through the first turn, which at the beginning of the race, these guys did a phenomenal job trying to get everyone through here. Justin trying to catch up to Hawk. We'll see if he can close that gap and make his way up there. It's going to be super close. He's going to have to remain consistent, get those faster times, and we'll see if we can't get what kind of times they're driving out here. Take a look at Mayer. Rangers with another 3-second time penalty. This is just not his night. David joining back in. I'm assuming he lost connection out here. He's going to be a lap down. The first one, a lap down. J-Mac moving up to 6th. Hokie Fan in 5th. We have a Skyland, who's P4th, 28 seconds back from our leader. We have Leave Justin, who's sitting P3 at the moment. JDM Hawk, who's sitting 2nd. And Mayor of Bag City, who is still our leader. We saw him with an earlier pit stop. Jacob with a 3-second time penalty. These penalties are just adding up, and the way these guys keep getting these added up, we only have a couple of guys out here with no penalties, which is really going to hurt the other guys who do. We'll see if that makes up any positions at the end of the race here. But 17 of 29, there's still a lot more race to have left with that happening. Let's see if we can get a look at the race control here. I want to see how many incidents they've had. Bloomy with terminal damage. So unfortunate here. Pit stops, these guys, medium to soft. You can see the different tires that they have had. Front wing repairs for a lot of these guys. That's going to be the story of the night as we are out here at Australian Grand Prix. Just super difficult, super technical track, but they are maneuvering around it so far pretty well. A lot of drivers. Let's take a look in Sector 3. Look at the traffic that we are seeing here with Hawk. This is going to be the back of this pack out here, and there's going to be Leaf Justin trying to make his way through all of this with 4 cars directly right in front of him, and he's got 3 cars between him and Hawk. About a 6 seconds distance between him and second place, so a lot can happen through this. Justin has fallen back a little bit, that gap ever increasing. Hawk is out here at P2 leading that group. They are a little bit back as he is definitely putting them behind him. You can see the race back here. I want to see if I can try to catch them. That is Rangers in the mix, and he has absolutely struggled here tonight. The first one, a lap down. It looks like he's got David directly behind him, and Dion, he is out there, but not the one behind him, so that's going to be back to Justin. That gap is definitely increasing between him and Hawk, who is in second place. Hawk closing in on our leader, Mayor of Bag City, who is currently our leader. 6 seconds behind is Hawk. I want to take a look when they went in for their last pit stops. Yeah, both these guys on one stop. Mayor, I do believe, was the first one in, so JDM Hawk does have fresher tires out here, which could mean all the difference, and he could continue to close that gap. 6 laps out on those tires compared to 11 of Mayor, so definitely we're going to continue to see that pattern that he's going to close that gap. I want to see how the strategy plays out. Lap 19 of 29. If Mayor can hold it out, we'll see what tire compound he finishes on, but it's going to be super close. And JDM Hawk, he's going to have to pull some strategy out of the hat to try to make up that time and pass for the lead. Justin on older tires, you can see him out there. 18 laps. Definitely a reasoning of why that gap is increasing between him and Hawk. Pokey fan, a 6-lap old tires out there. Sky, who just went in, fresh tires. We'll see if he can make any time up on that as he sits P5. Justin out on pit road. Biggest mover of the night with 10 spots gained. He is now on pit road, changing the tires out, I assume, for the last time in this race. Skyland gonna be coming up on Leaf Justin. We'll see if Justin can hold out the lead ahead of Skyland. It looks like he is definitely going to be able to. Still a little bit of gap between the two, about 10 seconds, so he is safe as far as that goes. Pokey fan is going to move up to P3, 32 seconds behind our leader. Hawk with a 6.8 second gap between him and the leader of Mayor of Bag City. Gary from Canada is getting a 3-second time penalty. David and Skyland are one of the only few that do not have a penalty out here. JC on another pit stop. He is in P8. We'll see how he comes out. I want to watch when he's going to go in. He is possibly gonna go out on those softs. Let's see, before I say that, because I know you have to have the different compounds. Yeah, he's out there on mediums. If I'm him, when I come in, I'm gonna come out with the softs. It's gonna give you the faster lap time, so he's gonna try to last as long as he can on this tire compound. And when he goes in, he's going to be able to come out with faster times and hopefully get back to that lead and hold it. Skyland with the fastest lap of a minute 25.1. We'll see if anyone can answer that as they head on to pit road for their hopefully, final stop of the night. 13 laps for Mayer on the tire compound. JDM Hawk with 8 laps on his tire compound. 6.8 seconds behind. Mayer just looking too strong tonight. I don't know if anyone is going to be able to beat him. We'll see, but he is really holding out to try to make it. I will be shocked if he does not head on over to the soft compounds. Quite the gap between these drivers, but it looks like one of the closest ones is going to be Hokie and Justin. About 3 seconds apart, but take a look at this with some lap traffic out here. I know Rangers was in the mix. Started off extremely strong. 8-lap old tires on the medium compounds here. David sitting P10. Leaf Justin with the fastest lap. He's got the softs on and the fastest lap out there. Mayer still putting a gap between him and second. Skyland, another penalty for him. 3 seconds. David, literally the only driver out here with no penalty. Oh yeah, Justin definitely took the soft tires. He's going to be extremely fast out there. We still have a couple of drivers that I do believe will go in and take soft tire compound. So when they come out, I'm expecting to see a couple of new fastest laps. Berkey, how much experience do you have with F1? Do you watch it in real life? Lap 23 of 29, we do have an issue in Sector 1. Let's make sure it is not our leader. It is not. It's going to be Jacob. He is sitting P7, a lap down. Mayor of Bag City just having an incredible run here tonight. Everyone from 7th on down. A lap down here. JDM Hawk losing just a tiny bit more of time out here, and I do believe he has fresher tires than Mayer does, and I'm surprised how long he is holding it out. Man, will he not even come in? That is a possibility too. He may not need to. Technically, you can get it done with just one stop, so yeah. He has gone on to one stop. He's already got 15 lap old tires. It's gonna be close, guys. I'm very curious to see, will we see him come into pit road? You used to play on Xbox, and no, you don't watch. I've heard from so many people that I need to start watching F1. Isn't the time crazy though? Isn't it like at 4 in the morning? I love racing. I do not like the 4 in the morning deal. Jacob on pit lane here. He's going to fall back to P8. Mayor of Bag City still hanging out. 7.5 seconds in front of our second place of Hawk. Jacob on the soft compound tire here. Justin up to P3, JDM Hawk P2, Hokie fan. He's gonna be sitting 4th with 11 lap old tires, medium compound. Sky on the softs with 4 laps. J Mac Attack, he's gonna be 10 laps on the medium compound. I'm kind of curious. Mayer's really pushing the limits here, unless I'm wrong. But pushing the limits here definitely for how long he can be on these medium tires. 24 of 29. David's still the only driver without a penalty. Justin trying to do all he can to close that gap, but unless something crazy happens, that is a huge difference on the track where these guys are currently. Sitting 32 seconds behind the leader, and Only 7 seconds under that for JDM Hawk. Hokie fan, another 3-second time penalty. We're gonna have to take a look at the end of the race and see where these guys stand in time penalties, and if that will affect the outcome for what position they finish in. Rangers, new fastest lap for him. Heartbreaker for him. Another penalty to go along with that. Sitting a lap down, he came out on track P2 in the first lap, trying to battle it out with Mayer. I think pushed it too hard. Self-spin early on. I think it was lap 2. Had to go on to pit road early in the race, and struggling here tonight, sitting P9. Really cutting that. Mayor of Bag City, a 3-second penalty. So many penalties handed out here. It's handed out like candy. JDM Hawk closing that gap ever so slightly, down just under 6 seconds behind the leader. Hokie fan, he's going to be 3 seconds away from P3. We'll see if he can't close that gap and try to finish here on podium as we're on lap 26 of 29. Really testing those track limits there. Mayor of Bag City, I don't see him coming in at this point. I was completely wrong on that strategy for him. I know you can make it one stop, but boy, oh boy. If he stays out, he is really pushing the limits, but doing a heck of a job. Hokie with an incredible save as he has a bit of oversteer on that car. Great job holding that together. It's definitely going to hurt him in the battle trying to get up to third, but if Justin makes a mistake, you've seen it here. It's not difficult to lose a position. You can be several seconds back and still make up time if someone makes a mistake and spins out. Mayor of Bag City all alone. Just under 6.5 second lead over JDM Hawk. Consistency is key here, and this guy has quite the experience, so doing a great job. We'll see if anyone can't catch him, but I want to go on board, leave Justin with another penalty. If these guys stay where they are at the finish, I will be very, very surprised. Rangers, another 3-second penalty, lap 27 of 29. This race is quickly coming down to the wire here. I'm not sure if anyone can make up any spots. You can see it on the map here. So many guys are spread out. Unless something drastic happens, I don't see anyone making any positions up. It's still early though. It's still early. We got a couple of laps and you guys seen it. Anything can happen, and it will. If it can, it will. JDM Hawk, another 3-second time penalty. Mayor of Bag City, I'm impressed. What can I say? Driving for Team Ferrari, teammate Jacob out there, currently sitting P10, 1 lap down. Hawk for Alpine, he is sitting P2. Justin for Aston Martin. Hokie fan for Haas. Lap 28 of 29. Hawk, man, really closing that gap, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. I really don't. Mayer has got to be really hurting on those tires. I want to take a look. 20 lap old tires. I don't know if you can push it any more than that. And this guy, it looks like it's not affecting him too much. Obviously, the lap times are going to slow down. You can see Hawk with 5 lap fresher tires. Definitely running the faster lap times here, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to do anything to catch up and pass our leader of Mare. Let's take a look at the fastest laps. 125.9 for Mare, 125.9 for Hawk. Can you get any closer than that? 124.5 for Justin, 126.6 for Hokie Fan, 125.5. One of the quicker times here is Jacob at Rangers, a couple of seconds faster with a 123.1. If that sits and he can finish in the top 10, he will get an extra point in the standings, and he goes into this race as the leader. I don't know that he's going to come out the leader, as Mare on his final lap is going to win this race if he can keep it straight and keep it clear of any contact. Keep it on the track. He will be good to go. 21 lap old tires. That's incredible. Really trying to baby it around here. Giving up some time in the process. It's going to be worth it, though, if he can hold it down. In Sector 2 at the moment, man, oh man, Hawk just under 6 seconds behind. Justin 29 seconds behind. That would be your podium finishers if they finish in that order. We still have quite a few turns for these guys. That's why I quit playing, because of pen. Oh no. The penalties. The penalties are wild. In Sector 3, Mare, if he can hold it out, those tires are absolutely screaming at him right now. They are not happy, and he is doing a phenomenal job as he is rounding out the final few corners. He's going to come around to the right, straight ahead to victory. Lap 29 of 29. Mayor of Bag City is going to be victorious here tonight for the Australian Grand Prix. JDM Hawk is going to finish out second. Justin going to come around the corner. Final couple of turns. If he can hold on to it, he will be the podium finisher here tonight. Here he comes down the straightaway. He will be P3 Hokie Fan. Coming down the straightaway, P4 Skyland, P5. That is going to be your top 5 finishers. Man, incredible run. Let's go on board with Mayor. All right, excuse me while I go get these guys. I want to get our winners in here. All right, we need to get Hawk, and then we'll do some interviews. What an incredible race, though.
Forza Ferrari. How about that?
Pretty incredible, man. I don't, you know, I missed that you went on to pit road pretty early on there. I don't know how you held the tires. Those tires had to be screaming at you.
They were definitely mad at me. I was definitely milking it. Once Hawk really forced my hand. Like he had an awesome strategy. He really pushed his soft super long, got on those mediums, and I knew a 3-stop I was just not, or a 2-stop I was not going to catch him, and I just made the executive decision, like, he's going to catch me on these tires or I'm going to hold it off. And I was getting great tire wear. I really managed them the whole race, and I'm so excited for the team, for Ferrari to get this win. It's really incredible, and it was a great race. Hawk had me on my A game the whole race. I knew he was within 5, 6, 7 seconds of me all race, 2, 3 on the softs, and it was just it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely. I know Rangers was out there. I thought he might give you some competition, but an early crash. I don't know if you caught that, but were you thinking it might be another battle here tonight with him?
Yeah, I mean, I went I was pretty stoked. I had him in my mirror. I knew I had the advantage on the softs early, so I was gonna hold the lead, but I knew he was gonna be he's faster than me, but he was pushing really hard to try and be in my DRS and stay up on me, and I forced him into a mistake through the high speed chicane, and once that happened, I knew it was just about managing my race and putting down clean laps and keeping my penalties same or close to those around me, and just being smooth and racing hard and pulled it off.
Yeah, the top four guys had the same amount of penalties, so consistency is key here tonight, staying on track, and you managed to do all of it with amazing lap times. So a huge congratulations to you. We saw you finish second last week. Tonight, you are victorious here at the Australian Grand Prix, so huge congratulations to you. You got it done.
Thank you. It was a blast.
Great to hear. Yeah, it was fun to watch. Hawk, you came home second, an incredible run here tonight. Take us through how your race went.
Well, I was just being consistent with every lap, pushing the softs. I got a good actually start. Yeah, and like what Mayor said, like I was really pushing my softs. I extended my pit and just made mistakes, and yeah.
Very close. I don't know if you guys have looked at the best lap times for you and Mayor, but he had a 125.900. You had a 125.967. So extremely close lap times for you guys. Like you said, you started grid in seventh, made it all the way up to second. So incredible run, very consistent for you, and really fun to watch you battling out there with Justin also.
Yeah.
All right, congratulations to you on P2. Justin, rounding out the top three for podium finish here. Your best lap time was a 124.5, so a little bit faster than the top two. Take us through how your race went as you started on 13th.
Just that right there sums it up. Started 13th. It was definitely a roller coaster because I practiced to try to see how far I could go on the mediums and was wanting to start on them regardless and then transition to softs, one stopping. And we got rain in qualifying, so that kind of worked out for me in that sense because I thought that we could, start on fresh tires and still go, try to start up front as far as possible on equal tires in qualifying and not have to, carry over or anything like that. But went out in qualifying and absolutely destroyed myself on a wall and started in the back, and so I was back in the chaos at the start of the race, and a couple of guys, I think on the first lap, trying to let each other in, checked up, and we didn't really react in time and had to slam the brakes, and then myself got rear-ended, and so I was driving around with underbody and side panel damage the whole race. So that thing, I was tiptoeing the entire time, scared I was gonna wreck because it got really loose from that. So yeah, I was very happy though to start on the mediums and be able to transition because I think that's where I made most of my time after just kind of surviving the medium run. A lot of more people pitted twice than I was expecting, so just kind of holding on and keeping the nose clean, and that was that essentially.
Well, you did it, and you got an incredible finish. Definitely help out in the points. So, big congratulations to you for a podium finish here, Mayor.
I got one after last week.
Mayor, I don't know how you held it on those tires. I'm still just I'm baffled at it. But
I think if it's a 32 lap race, it's not happening. They were screaming the game really after 60%. You might as well be at 100% wear. And my left sides, there's a lot of right-handers, so the wear on the left is greater. They were in the high 50s. So
wow.
Fortunately, I was milking it, but being in the same penalty delta as Hawk, I knew that I just had to keep him behind me, and I wasn't pushing at my hardest the last 5 or so laps just to milk him across. So. Just shows that's that Ferrari performance and getting great tire wear. Can't be more than happy for the boys.
Absolutely. Great job tonight, and great job to the entire field. A really fun race to watch. You guys saw it here tonight. Round 2 was absolutely incredible. Start off with rain for qualifying, ended up in the sunshine and some incredible racing. I thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We will be back next week, same time, same day. I think it's going to be the Chinese Grand Prix, so it's going to be another wild one. Be sure to tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Till then, you guys have a great night.